Welcome to Scorpions 101 with Jackie Cheerflex. In this video, we're going to go over all things scorpions. Let's get started. Let's start with a warm-up. We're going to do 20 jumping jacks. Great job. Now we're going to do 10 squats. Now we're going to do 10 needle kicks on each leg. Try to keep your bottom leg as straight as you can and point your toe all the way to the ceiling. We're going to do 5 inchworms, so make sure you keep your legs as straight as you can and take your time. Walk all the way out to a push-up position and then slowly walk your hands back in. You should feel the stretch in the back of your legs, warming up those hamstrings. Great job. Now we're going to move on to 10 Supermans. Great job. Now we're going to stand up and do arm circles forwards, backwards, across, and up and down. If you have a stretch band or a hoodie or a long sleeve shirt, we can get creative. We're going to hold the band in a low V in front of us and do slow arm circles in front, and then we're going to slowly pull it behind. The goal is to keep our arms as straight as we can and really loosen up those shoulders. If it feels too easy, just walk your hands in, make your band a little bit tighter. If you're unable to keep your arms straight, just slide your hands a little bit wider. Next, we're going to get into our scorpion stretches. You can stretch your arms out onto any hard surface. We're going to keep our arms straight and we're going to push our chest and our armpits down to the floor, and you should feel the stretch in the back of your shoulders. Next, we're going to slide our hands back. I like to try to get my pinkies to touch behind me so my arms don't go wide. and we're going to slide our hands back as far as we can to stretch those shoulders. Next, we're going to sit in a straddle, and we're going to hold each side with straight legs, pointed toes for about 30 seconds on each leg. Try not to let your feet roll in. If your big toe is on the floor, really try to keep those knees to the ceiling and roll those feet back. Great job. Now we're going to do a butterfly, and we're going to reach our arms out as far as we can and stretch those hips. Then we're going to straighten our legs, and we're going to reach forward as far as we can, and we're going to grab our toes. If that's easy, you can grab your heels and try to put your elbows on the ground. If you can't touch your toes yet, that's okay. Just try to reach as far as you can. You can also try to flex your feet and tap your toes 10 times. Now we're going to move into our lunges. So go ahead and pick your favorite leg because we will do both. If you don't feel the stretch, try to scoot your front foot forward and then push your hips down lower. We should feel this in our back leg where our pocket would be. That's your hip flexor. So make sure that that kneecap is on the ground and it's directly behind you. We don't want it out to the side. Great job. Now we're going to lean back with a straight leg and a flexed foot, and we're going to reach forward as far as we can. Then we're going to do a pigeon stretch. So we're going to bend our front leg in and reach forward. The back leg should be straight, just like a split. Then we're going to do a pigeon stretch, grabbing our back leg and holding it like a scorpion. If you're unable to do this, that's okay. This is pretty advanced. You can use a stretch band. You can grab your back leg and just pull that foot into your bottom, reaching forward. As long as you feel it on your quad is that muscle located on your back leg on top of your thigh. It's really important in this stretch to keep your knee directly behind you. So we're not sitting on our foot, and if we were to straighten our legs, we would be in a perfect split. So try not to let that knee come out to the side. We want to hide it behind our back. Great job. Now we're going to straighten our legs and slide into our split. If you're able to, try to reach back as far as you can. If your split is not all the way down yet, that's okay. Make sure you keep working on those splits. So on the same leg, we're going to grab our back leg and try to bend it and put our foot to our head. So we're going to hold it like a scorpion. This might be challenging for you. That's okay. You can always grab a band and try it, or you can go into a pigeon stretch and continue to do what we did earlier, pigeon stretch with the scorpion grip. Now we're going to do an oversplit. So make sure that that front leg is nice and straight. Our chest is up. We don't want to lean forward because we want our weight directly over our hips. We should have straight legs, pointed toes, and our hips are squared. If you're unsure if your hips are squared, try to get your big toe in line with your belly button. Great job. Now we're going to slide into our split on the floor. Hopefully, it should feel a lot easier. Great job. Now we're going to switch legs and do our lunge. Then we're going to lean back, straight leg, flexed foot, and reach forward as far as we can. Make sure that that knee stays locked out. Then we're going to lock out our back leg and reach forward in our pigeon stretch. Then we're going to grab that back leg and try to hold it like a scorpion. And if you need to put one hand on the ground to balance, that's okay. You can also use a band. You can just pull that foot into your bottom. So try not to get frustrated if you cannot hold it like a scorpion yet. You will get there. Then we're going to straighten our legs and we're going to slide into our split. If you can, try to walk your hands backward as far as you can. If you're not all the way down yet, that's okay. Just hold yourself up and try to go as low as you can. If your split is all the way down, go ahead and grab that back leg and try to hold it like a scorpion, putting the bottom of our foot to our head. Then we're going to do our oversplit and hold it for 1 minute. So again, make sure that those hips are nice and squared. Keep your big toe in line with your belly button. If you are on your right leg split, you can go ahead and try to put your hands on the right side. If you're on your left leg split, try to reach your hands over to the left. Then we're going to slide into our split on the ground. The hard part is over. Now we're going to do some wall climbs. Make sure you're taking your time in your wall climb. These are not meant to be fast. They're meant to be nice and slow to warm up and stretch our backs out. So we just walk our hands all the way down to the ground, then we hit a nice bridge, and then we slowly walk our hands back up. Then we're going to lay on the ground, push up into a bridge, and we're going to rock back and forth 10 times. So try to focus on pushing your chest over your hands. Then we're going to try some knee bridges. It's okay if you're unable to touch the ground and come all the way back up. You can use the wall, reach back as far as you can, and then come up. If you want to try to make it a little harder, you can grab a yoga block, put it on the ground, and then try to lift it back up. The key to this is to squeeze your bottom and push your hips forward. If you do not squeeze your bottom, you will fall backwards. So try to keep that head in and your arms up by your ears. Then we're going to lay on our belly and we're going to push up into a seal stretch. Try to relax your belly muscles and feel them release. Now we're going to bend our legs and try to put our toes to our head. Nice job. Now we're going to do our camel stretch. We're going to go on our knees. They can be shoulder width apart. We're going to squeeze our bottom, pushing our hips forward, and we're going to reach back for our ankles. If you don't really feel the stretch, try to put your hands on the ground. This next stretch is a little bit tricky, but if you want to try it, feel free. We're going to kick up into a handstand. Then we're going to put our bottom and our legs on the wall, and we're going to push our hips down to the ground. This is going to help open our shoulders and stretch out our back. You want to start a little bit away from the wall. If you're too close to the wall, you won't be able to hit the chair shape. For our next stretch, you can use the couch, a chair, any elevated surface. We're going to do a deep lunge arabesque stretch, and we're going to grab our back leg like a scorpion. This one is a little bit tricky, so you can use a band if you need to, or you can just try to pull that back leg in. It doesn't have to look like this, like a scorpion. Just do your best. You can also just keep that leg straight. The goal is to stretch out our hip flexors. So we want to make sure that our shorts are not on the chair or the couch, that they're free floating. So keep your back knee on the surface. Great job. Now we're going to try it on our other leg. Remember, you can always use a band or keep that leg straight or just pull that leg in. You might not be able to do it on both legs yet. That's okay. You will get there. It's really important to make sure that that leg is directly behind you. We want to keep that kneecap facing down, and we're hiding that leg behind us. We don't want it out to the side. Now we're going to push up into a bridge, and we're going to kick with straight legs, pointed toes, 10 times on each leg. If the kicks are a little bit hard, maybe just try 3, or you can do a bridge and just hold that leg up as long as you can. Then we're going to push up into a power bridge, so just a bridge with straight legs and feet together. Great job. Then we're going to push up into a bridge and walk our feet into our hands, creating a small bridge. Try to push your hips to the ceiling. Great job. Now you're going to need a doorway for this one, and we're going to start with our bottom leg against the door frame, and we're going to slowly walk our hands up, hitting a split. And if you push your arms straight, you'll feel the stretch in your lower back. If this is hard for you, that's okay. This one is a little bit advanced. Just do your best. The higher you walk your arms, the more challenging it is. Now we're going to try it on our other leg. Great job. Now it's time to do some scorpions. I teach them the traditional way, is what I like to call it. So I turn my hand facing the front, so it looks like I'm going to give you a high five. and it makes a little J on your hand, and that's where you're going to place your foot. So your thumb is going to go on the bottom of your foot, and your fingertips will go on your toes or by your shoelaces. So we're going to pinch that foot. We're going to practice a couple of these, just grabbing that grip. So you can put it to counts and grab 5, 6, 7, grab 1. And then again, 5, 6, 7, grab 1, until that becomes easy. Then we're going to grab with our other hand. So our elbow is going to go in, and then it's going to go out, and then up. Then we're going to lean forward a little bit, so our ribs are facing down, so our weight is in the ball of our foot. Then we're going to try to lift with straight arms into our scorpion. So let's practice that a little bit more. We're on a locked out leg. The back foot is flexed, so we can grab it with both hands. If that feels easy, go ahead and straighten those arms and try to do a scorpion, lifting with straight arms to the ceiling. This grip can be a little tricky if you're not used to it. That's okay. Just keep practicing. So try to put it to counts when you get comfortable with that grip. So 5, 6, 7, grab 1, 2, and then try to grab it with both hands, 3, 4. If that's easy, lift straight arms on 5, 6, 7, 8, and then we'll clean 1. Some important things to remember is when we get set, that foot has to be flexed. It makes it a lot easier to grab. We want to make sure that our hand is on the pinky toe side of our foot. We don't want to grab behind our foot by our big toe. So make sure that that bottom leg stays locked out the entire time. As soon as it bends, it makes it really difficult to balance and do the scorpion. So start on a locked out leg. When we go to grab, that foot is flexed. Our elbow starts facing in, then it goes out, and then up. If you notice, her ribs are going to go slightly forward and then down, so they're in line with her big toe. If you keep falling over, that's okay. It does take a lot of practice. Your weight might be in your heel. Try to push the ball of your foot, that thing right below your big toe, into the ground and bring that chest slightly forward. Now let's try it to counts. So we'll get set, 1, 2, grab 3, up on 5, 6, 7, 8, 1. So if you're still working on that grip, perfect. Go ahead and pause the video until you feel comfortable moving on. If you're unable to do a scorpion and this is really, really hard for you, that's okay. The next part of this video is going to go over how to do scorpions with stretch bands. You can also try stretch band scorpions on your opposite leg. So if you have a scorpion on one leg and not the other, this is for you. So in this portion of the video, I'm going to show you how to do a scorpion using a small band and a TheraBand, so just a long stretch band. So we're just going to put it on the middle of our foot and we're lifting with straight arms. The biggest mistake I always see when flyers do these is they try to pull their arms forward. Instead of pulling our arms forward, we want to keep them by our ears and lift up to the ceiling and then try to straighten our legs. So make sure that that bottom leg stays locked out and we're pushing the ball of our foot into the ground. If you need to take your back hand or your right hand, whatever leg you're doing, and put it on the wall or something sturdy in front of you, you can. Just really try to keep that bottom leg locked out the entire scorpion. Once this starts to feel pretty easy, try to grab the band behind you in the scorpion with both hands and walk your hands closer to your foot. So the band should get shorter and a little bit tighter so our hands are closer to our foot. If you have a TheraBand, like this long yellow band or something similar, I'm going to show you a way that I like to work on like needles and scorpions with it. So we're going to watch her do one in this video. So you're going to take your scorpion leg and step on it. Then you're going to cross the band over in each hand. Then you're going to step through the band with your standing leg. And then our elbows are going to go in and then out and then up. So we're still lifting with our straight arms, and notice how she's not pulling the band forward. We're still lifting everything up to the ceiling. I have the flyer facing forward so we can see her back leg. Notice how she keeps it hidden behind her and that knee is not out to the side. So if she turns facing the side, she would be in a split. If you're unable to catch your balance, try to slow down. So when you step on it, cross it over and step through. Make sure that standing leg is locked out at all times. Then slowly grab the band and lift up. If you need to grab a little bit lower on your band, that will make it a lot easier to balance. If your band is too long, you're going to have weight in that back leg, and it's going to make it really bouncy and uncontrolled. So take this time to practice a couple on your own. If you need to pause the video at any time or rewind, that's okay. That's what this video is for. Now we're going to take a look at what this looks like facing the side. So if you notice, that bottom leg is going to stay straight at all times. It's really important to start on that locked out leg and end on a locked out leg. Make sure you're not pulling your band forward and your arms stay straight in line with your ears at the peak of the scorpion. Once you feel comfortable doing this a few times, try some scorpions without the band. Make sure you also practice some reps on your opposite leg. And great job! You just completed Scorpions 101 with Jackie